Welcome to the Voices of Recovery podcast. This is your spiritual principle of a day episode, featuring a recovering addict. Hi, my name is Sophie X. My clean date is December 28th, 2023. You're listening to the Voices of Recovery podcast. This is the spiritual principle a day passage for June 17th. Building trust and trustworthiness. Through our developing relationship with our sponsor, we learn about the principle of trust. It works, step 1. More often than not, a last-ditch effort to stay out of jail, keep a job, or hang on to a relationship drives us through the doors of NA. We've stopped using plenty of times before, but staying stopped seems beyond us. We knew something had to change, and honestly, we had nothing to lose. When we looked around at that first meeting, we saw people who understood our plight because they had been there before. They'd experienced the price of low living. The NA program worked for them. Maybe it will work for us too. Desperation may have brought us to NA, but inspiration keeps us coming back. Trust hadn't been on our radar, but we are somehow willing to accept a few suggestions. Just a few days in, and we've committed to attending a meeting a day for 90 days. We even reach out to other members between meetings. With each passing day, we feel a little better and trust in this NA way a little more. And our actions show it. We've begun to trust the process, but we'll need a guide, a sponsor, if we want to give this a fair shot. You don't have to trust everyone, we're told, but you've got to learn to trust someone. This seems like solid advice. The source, a more experienced member, seems trustworthy. How about you? We respond. Will you sponsor me? It takes time for most of us to shed our armor, but sponsors have a way of gaining our trust little by little. One of us shares some truth about our life and experience, and the other returns the favor, as one member put it. In the process, we develop trust and eventually intimacy. It's a pattern of behavior we can replicate in other relationships. As sponsees, sponsors, partners, and friends. Spiritual principle. Following my sponsor's example, I will build trust a little at a time. I'll learn to trust and be trustworthy in small moments by being true to my word, supportive of others, and open to intimacy. The Voices of Recovery podcast is an independent production of the Works of Wisdom. We welcome your questions and donations via PayPal at voicesofrecoverypod@gmail.com. This podcast is an independent production and is not affiliated with, associated with, authorized by, endorsed by, or in any way officially connected with Narcotics Anonymous or any of its subsidiaries or affiliates. While NA literature may be read during episodes for the purpose of supporting recovery, such use does not constitute an official endorsement or representation by Narcotics Anonymous. In accordance with NA tradition, the NA name is not to be used to endorse or be affiliated with any outside enterprise, and no such endorsement or affiliation is implied. Music is by Sage. Thanks for listening to the Voices of Recovery podcast. Hi, my name is Sophie X. My clean date is December 28th, 2023. You're listening to the Voices of Recovery podcast. This is the spiritual principle a day passage for June 18th. Grace gets us through hard times. What we find is not that our higher power spares us the hardship of life, but that we receive the grace to get through them clean. What we find is not that our higher power spares us of the hardships of life, but that we receive the grace to get through them clean. Living Clean, Chapter 3, Walking the Walk. When terrible things happen to us or people we love, especially those we deem to be innocent and undeserving of strife, our first reaction is often to try to make sense of it, to look for someone or something to blame.